Part 1. You will hear a man interviewing a woman about a teaching position that has just opened up at a local school. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 3. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 3.
Hello?
Hi, is this Alyssa Long?
Yes, that's me.
Hi Alyssa, this is Tim Evans from the Employment Consultancy. I have some details about a job that I think might interest you.
Okay.
It's a position for an ICT teacher. I remember you said that you've done this type of work before.
That's true. I used to teach a computer science class at a cram school here in Essex.
Sure. Well, this would be a full-time role at a school during the daytime. Is that something you might be interested in?
Definitely. Could you tell me exactly where the school is?
It's located at 44 Charlton Street, which is near the cathedral.
Can you repeat the address again, please?
Sure, it's 44 Charlton Street. Let me spell it for you. It's Charlton.
Oh yes, I know where you mean now.
Good. Now about the job. You'll be working with students from grades 6 to 8. The teacher says that most of the students have learned this subject before.
Actually, I prefer working with middle school students. Can you tell me more about what the role would involve?
Well, you'd be responsible for creating and implementing an engaging curriculum. They did say that they have lesson plans and materials which you can use too.
Right. Well, I've done this type of thing in my previous role. In fact, I found it very rewarding to make my own lessons and observe the results.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 4 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer the questions 4 to 10.
Another key responsibility is maintaining a positive classroom environment.
That won't be a problem, as this is part of my teaching philosophy. Is there anything else that I would be in charge of?
Another thing they mentioned is the teacher should also be open to organising and leading extracurricular activities.
Right, I'd definitely be open to doing that a couple of times per week.
Excellent. I'm sure they'd be happy to hear that. Now, about the requirements of the role. You'll need to hold a university degree in computer science or a related field.
Okay, well, I already have a bachelor's degree in computer science.
Perfect. Another thing they are looking for is a teaching license, as they want somebody who is committed to the teaching profession.
Yes, I obtained a teaching qualification shortly after university.
Good to hear. One more thing they said related to this was they expect the teacher to already have a minimum of 2 years' experience teaching ICT. Now, in your case, I think that the 3 years you have at the cram school should be sufficient.
I hope so. I've had a few colleagues from my centre who had positive experiences transferring to daytime schools.
Wonderful. Before I forget, they've noted here that you should have knowledge of coding and web development. Are you confident in those areas?
Of course. Actually, these are two of the main subject areas that I taught at the cram school.
That's great. Now let's talk about contact hours. You'd be working Monday to Friday during the daytime. Would that suit you?
Yes, what time would I need to be at school?
Well, lessons start at 8 a.m. in the morning and they run until 4:30 p.m. Sorry, I mean 3:30 p.m.
Okay, that is more or less what I was expecting. Can you tell me if there is any transportation available?
Let me see. They do have a shuttle bus for the students to arrive directly at school, but they also mention that there's a bus station near the school and it's only a 5-minute walk to campus.
That's definitely a plus, since my husband usually takes the car or drops me off. I prefer public transportation, though.
Well, there is on-site parking available for all staff if you need it.
Can you tell me whether or not the school offers any benefits?
Sure. The benefits package includes health insurance and a retirement plan.
Oh, great. I really appreciate having comprehensive coverage.
Excellent. So, if you're interested, I can forward your CV and references to the headmaster. They will then contact you directly to arrange an interview.
Yes, please do that.
Great, I'll take care of that. Do you have any other questions before we proceed?
No, I think you've covered everything. Thank you so much for your help, Tim.
You're welcome, Alyssa. Good luck.
That is the end of part 1. Part 2. You will hear the director of an art gallery talking about the things that guests can see during their visit. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the City Art Gallery. Since it's your first time, I'm going to tell you about the gallery and explain what you can see during your visit. Right now, we're standing at the location of the city's first central train station. This iconic site was later closed temporarily when the train company went out of business in 1956. In response to this, the city wanted to put the site to good use, so it originally considered replacing it with a park, yet plans fell apart. Soon after, the public voiced an interest in having more cultural attractions, so the site became home to an art gallery instead. One of the perks of visiting our art gallery is that you'll be able to interact with expert guides who can provide valuable insights into the artworks on display. They can highlight notable pieces, explain artistic techniques, and share fascinating stories about the artists themselves. In addition to communicating with the guides, you can also do some independent exploration by using our interactive displays. We also host a variety of special events, such as artist talks, throughout the year. We deliver workshops where you can try your hand at different art forms. As for entrance fees, they vary depending on the exhibit. The permanent collection is typically free to enter, while special exhibitions may require a ticket. Regarding our policies, we allow photography in most areas of the gallery, although some special exhibitions may prohibit it to protect the artworks. To ensure a pleasant experience for all visitors, we kindly ask you to follow a few simple guidelines. Please keep your voice low to maintain a quiet and contemplative atmosphere. Avoid touching the artworks, as this can cause damage. We encourage you to use our interactive displays and audio guides to enrich your understanding of the pieces on display. Additionally, we recommend approaching your visit with an open mind, as there are numerous learning opportunities available on site. You can always conduct further research after your visit.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now listen carefully and answer the questions 15 to 20.
Next, I'd like to tell you about the different areas of the gallery. Just inside the entrance, and as you enter the main exhibition hall, you will find the Renaissance Room. This room features an exquisite collection of Renaissance art, including works by masters such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. Make sure to take your time here, as there are interactive displays that enhance your understanding of these masterpieces. Moving through the main exhibition hall, you'll come to the contemporary wing. This area is always dynamic with frequent changes, showcasing modern and contemporary art from the 20th and 21st centuries. Today, we have a special highlight. It's a 3D model created by university students, and it illustrates the threats presented by logging, agriculture or urbanization. Next, head upstairs to our photography gallery. This gallery is dedicated to the art of photography, featuring award-winning photographs from around the world. The exhibition is diverse, covering various genres from portraiture to landscape photography. An exciting feature in this area is our photography quiz, where you can test your knowledge and learn more about the stories behind the images. To the right of the photography gallery is the sculpture garden. This outdoor space offers a tranquil setting for visitors to enjoy a variety of sculptures from both classical and contemporary artists. It's a serene spot, perfect for reflection, and it's especially enjoyable on a sunny day. Please note that due to the fragility of the sculptures, we kindly ask parents to closely supervise their children in this area to ensure everyone's safety. Don't miss the immersive digital art room. This innovative space uses cutting-edge technology to create an extraordinary visual and auditory experience. One of the recent displays was titled Nature's Echoes, and it consisted of life-sized, three-dimensional holograms that depict natural environments such as a rainforest canopy or vibrant coral reef teeming with marine life. Finally, we also have a special area specifically designed for families called the Children's Art Space. Here, young visitors can create their own masterpieces by using crayons. Once finished, they can project their artwork onto a digital board where it comes to life through animated effects. It's a fantastic way for kids to engage with art and see their creativity take on new dimensions. There's something for everyone to enjoy at the City Art Gallery.
That is the end of part 2. Part 3. You will hear two students, Nina and Matt, discussing a grade 5 lesson that they recently observed that includes a discussion about how the approach impacted different students. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 27. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
So, let's discuss the grade 5 class we just observed. I was really fascinated by how the teacher used songs to help the students learn.
Absolutely. They may not have directly been learning about history, but it was amazing to see the range of skills being developed just through creating their own songs. Did you notice how the students seemed to retain more information?
Yes, creating songs helped them enhance their long-term memory, as they had to remember the lyrics and melodies they created.
Absolutely. And don't forget how it also seemed to build their teamwork skills. Most of the students collaborated and shared ideas, which was fantastic to see.
Exactly. I also noticed that it significantly boosted their creativity. The freedom to come up with their own lyrics and melodies allowed them to express themselves in unique ways.
True, I think this skill is so underrated. There's no doubt that teachers would greatly improve the futures of their learners if they could instill this skill early on.
Now, Let's talk about our observations of the individual students during the lesson.
Sure, let's start with Randy. He really focused on understanding the lyrics he was writing. You could see he was trying to find the exact right words.
I totally agree. Randy definitely enjoyed analyzing what the songs meant. And Sally, she showed a remarkable improvement in remembering the phrases through repetition. It was like she learned words and phrases without even trying.
It seemed as though Jake struggled with the activity at times. He took longer to come up with his lyrics, but you could see he was deeply engaged in the process, which helped him focus.
And how about Trevor? His lyrics were vivid and imaginative. You could see how much he enjoyed the task and how it allowed his creativity to flourish.
Lisa was also noteworthy. At first she was hesitant, but once she started working with her group, she really developed her teamwork skills. It was great to see her contributing and sharing ideas.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 28 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer the questions 28 to 30.
You know, initially I thought preparing a lesson with music might take less effort compared to traditional methods.
Yeah, you'd think that the teacher would basically be able to leave the students to their own devices, and motivating students to guide their own learning is definitely a benefit of this kind of lesson.
I agree. But what really struck me as beneficial was how songs help students to activate different senses. The melodies and lyrics use their auditory senses, and if they visualize the stories they're singing about, it engages their visual senses too.
Exactly, and at the same time, it reinforces their memory. It's not just about enjoying the lesson, it's about remembering the content long term. I think this was really the main benefit of this activity.
Some teachers might hesitate to use these methods because it requires a lot of preparation, and it doesn't always align with standardized testing methods, which can be a big consideration for many educators.
True, there are practical challenges and limitations, but I think the benefits are far greater. Songs engage students on multiple levels, making learning more dynamic and enjoyable. This ultimately may lead to better educational outcomes.
I totally agree. Watching this lesson gave me new ideas on how to make learning more engaging and effective. Perhaps we could incorporate songs from different periods into our history classes.
That might be difficult because the students wouldn't be familiar with the music.
Oh, I have a better idea. We could encourage students to create songs that include words and phrases related to the subject.
That sounds fantastic. It would make the material far more engaging for students.
Great. Now that we've decided, then we can move on to...
That is the end of part 3. Part 4. You will listen to a university student delivering their presentation, focusing on an influential person. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
For today's presentation, we were tasked with sharing a biographical account about somebody who has had a major influence on our educational journey. So, I'm going to talk about the life and legacy of the renowned English novelist, Jane Austen. Jane Austen was born on December 16th, 1775, at Steventon Rectory in Hampshire. Growing up within a close-knit family environment, she was the second daughter and seventh child of a large family. Jane's love for reading and writing was fueled at a young age, and it was by spending significant time in her father's extensive library that she developed this strong interest. As a result, this environment helped Jane to develop a foundation for her future works. Now, let's consider the impact of her time at Chawton Cottage. This was the place where Austen orchestrated her influential writing career. Chawton Cottage was located in a tranquil rural village, away from the noise and distractions of a larger town or city. The natural beauty of the Hampshire countryside provided a calming and inspiring backdrop for Jane Austen. We know that the fields, woods, and gardens surrounding the cottage offered a relaxing environment where she could take peaceful walks and reflect on her writing. Jane Austen's brother Edward Austen Knight purchased Chawton Cottage for Jane, her sister Cassandra, and their mother after Jane's father passed away, which had left them in a precarious financial situation. In other words, his generosity ensured that Jane and her family had a secure and stable home. This situation meant that she didn't need to worry about financial pressures, allowing her to concentrate on her writing. Another point worth mentioning is the layout of Chawton Cottage, which offered Jane private space to establish a routine and carry out her writing. And even if she faced challenges, the routine and dedicated space provided consistency and structure. Ultimately, it was at Chawton Cottage where Jane produced many of her renowned novels, including Sense and Sensibility. Subsequent to Jane Austen's death in 1817, Chawton Cottage became a museum dedicated to her life and works. In the museum, many of Austen's personal possessions, including letters, first editions of her novels, and clothing items can be found. In fact, those precious items are the relics that still provide us with a tangible connection to her life today. In particular, one of the main items exhibited is Jane's small and round writing table. It is an iconic piece because it was where she wrote or revised many of her famous novels. The simple table holds immense historical significance as the creative space where Austen's literary genius flourished. The museum offers a glimpse into the domestic life of one of England's most cherished authors and provides insights into her creative process. Standing out as a significant cultural and literary landmark, the Jane Austen House Museum attracts thousands of visitors annually who come to explore Austen's personal life and literary achievements. Today, the Jane Austen House Museum organises educational programmes and special exhibitions to showcase her significant contributions to literature. As we continue to celebrate Jane Austen's legacy, her life and works continue to inspire and captivate audiences around the world. Thank you for your attention. Does anybody have any questions?
That is the end of part 4.